What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And if you have kids who won't move out of your house, I've got news for you. I'm at Tribeca doing the Tribeca Film Festival, and I've just seen Birthright, and this movie is going to be either up your alley or not, depending on how you view that situation of kids. Some parents like it. Some parents like, I never want you to leave. Just stay there. Don't leave. Other parents, like the dad in this film, are like, get the crap out of my house. So, Birthright is it's an Australian import that explores the idea of sort of what many of us are feeling, and it's funny that it's coming out of Australia because we see this a lot here. It's one of the complaints that we have about sort of like a dream deferred for the younger generation that's coming up in the world. They feel like that they live now in a system that has been so dismantled that the idea of like home ownership to them is without of reach. That the only way that they can ever do anything is through loans because everything is so prohibitively expensive that you have to take out a student loan to go to college or take out a loan to, you have to do a home through a mortgage, and generally a pretty painful one. Whereas, generations past used to just buy homes or, you would inherit a home. But if you continue to inherit family homes, some of those need a lot of work. If you're inheriting homes that, that your great great grandparents lived in, it might need a lot of work done to it, and that's also generational wealth, which not a lot of people have access to. So it's interesting to see like the Australian perspective on this, because certainly it's something we talk about in America, and to call a film Birthright going into Tribeca feels uniquely incendiary with the way that we're treating birthright citizenship in this country. So it feels like the kind of film that will garner attention for people who just don't even know what it is. A lot of times we point at things and we go, I don't know what that is, but I don't like it. I mean, that's like half of film criticism on YouTube right now, is just simply going, I I don't like it. It has a female lead, or I don't like it because the lead is using pronouns. I don't like it because the lead doesn't look like me and is a person of color, is female, whatever it is. There's just a lot of people attacking films for daring to do something really not different, but somehow being told that it's different. Birthright feels like, welcome to America. Your film is going to be interpreted in a completely different manner here. I would be so much more interested to see how Australians react to Birthright within, within the construct of Australia, and what is it like for them over there? Because politics are different from country to country. It's one of the reasons why when I review films that are international cinema, I always try to advocate for audio description for blind people as a blind film critic, because I think it behooves those of us here. I think our narrow-mindedness comes from a lack of a variety of opinion, and one of those varieties that we get is to be able to understand like a worldview. So we have to understand where other countries are, where other people are coming from when they come from other countries, what it's like there, what life is like there, what their politics are like, social structure, economic structure, things like that. So while I do see a fair amount of stuff coming out of Australia, I'm still not Australian, and I still don't fully understand how this film resonates in Australia. I know how it resonates here, and I think people here are going to look at it for two reasons. One, because it's called Birthright, and two, if you market this to a young audience that is feeling this way, they recognize the fact that they're living at home. They don't really want to be living at home. They just don't have a choice. They are working a job and paying off their student debt, or they got a degree and there are too many people in the field with degrees and it's not hiring, or they're being pushed out of the field due to the continued development of robots and AI. Like you went into a field that there is no growth in, but you thought there would be. Everybody said, "Oh, this is a high-paying field." Well, it is, but there's too many people in it. Lots of things like that happen. Uh, it doesn't mean that we should deter kids from achieving a higher level of education, and why we should, I don't know, continue to propagate an idea that we should be unskilled and uneducated. You can still learn a trade that is education. You're learning something. You're moving forward. So there's stuff here that I think will resonate with an American audience totally differently than as intended. And I think that's what's interesting is Birthright is obviously going to ship around to other film festivals. It's going to play in other countries. And due to the way that culturally kids coming home would sit, I think it's going to play, interestingly, very differently in every single country as it plays, wherever it goes, whatever film festival it's release. It feels like one of those like universal ideas, and I think culturally, though, there are going to be those little differences. So our main guy here is having to come home basically because no job, and he has this, I can't remember if they're married. I want to say they're married. They may just be engaged or fiancéed or dating or whatever, but she's pregnant, and so they can't just like live on the street. So he's looking for a place to crash just for a short period of time. His dad is sort of resistant to that, and he's looking for a little bit of help. But I guess his dad gave him like $10,000, and when he was ready to like leave, and then kicked him out of the house, and he squandered that $10,000. Honestly, a little bit. He did actually squander. He kind of just went and explored. He also has a degree that, I think that's one of the interesting things too, is they gave him a degree, was it in like art design or something, that some people would look at and go, what is that degree for? It's not like he's a medical doctor where people are like, well, that's a universal thing. How do you not have a job? It's one of those jobs that's sort of nebulous, and people don't understand where it is or how much you can earn with it per year, because it has like a sliding scale. There are some of these things that, because they are sort of artistic in nature, people assume that you can't get jobs with them. But if there was no art, what would you do at the end of the day? You'd work your job, and you'd have no music to listen to. There'd be no books to read, nothing on TV. I just, like, what would you do? So, yeah, I mean, people have to study those things so they can become the best in those fields to create the kind of quality. It's a vicious circle. We love to make fun of people who get, education in the arts, but at the same time, what would you do? Go for a run all the time? I mean, aren't you already exhausted at the end of the day from working your non-artistic job? So, yeah, I see what this film is doing. I like it. I think it's fun. I would love the audio description track to come through for this movie, but I think this film is independent and still seeking distribution, so I can't be mad at it. I can say that I'm positive on it, and I would recommend this film. Thumbs up, fresh, whatever. I liked what this film was putting out into the world. But as far as like actually grading, I have there's a barrier here of my sighted, my being blind. So actually landing on a grade, actually saying this is where that is, there was enough that I was missing in the film that I couldn't do that, and I don't want to say, sometimes I tried being nice for a while and doing like a floating grade, and then I would watch a film with audio description later on. I'd be like, well, I got that wrong. Both ways, up and down. Took films way up and took films way down. So it's amazing what context can bring when you think that you know what's going on, but you don't always know what's going on. So yeah, I just no grade due to lack of audio description. But I can safely say that I don't think I would go negative on it. I just don't understand what audio description could bring. I think this is high enough away from the median where I can at least say that I would recommend this. So if you have a chance to see Birthright, check it out because I think it pushes some interesting conversation pieces and the journey that it goes on, which I'm not spoiling because this film hasn't been released. It's a film festival movie. um, yeah, I get what it's saying. I mean, I I've been there. I've lived on my own. I've had to come back, but I came back because I went blind, not because because I needed more security in my life than and not having to worry about a lot of other things. So my reason was not the same reason as this character's, but I feel it, and I know a lot of other people who live at home uh, past like the age where you would normally expect them to be living at home, and that seems to be becoming more and more of a thing. So this film has an audience. It just has to find a distributor who knows what that audience is and then sends it out appropriately to that audience. It doesn't feel very A24, but I feel like the A24 audience all lives at home with their parents. So this would be the kind of thing that the A24 audience might really enjoy. Uh, I'm gonna get hate for that. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Click like and subscribe. Join my cult. And I will see you guys on the other side.